is a continuation series for earlier video on mucormycosis. As you all know, there is sudden increase of mucormycosis in post-COVID patients because of excessive usage of steroids and reduced immune status. So whenever you see a case of mucormycosis, you have to assess for complications. So first, you have to evaluate whether there is presence of mucor or not. So classical T2 hypointense areas, you can see presence or absence of classical T2 hypointense areas. And next most important sign is if you find a diffusion restriction area in the sinus, most likely you are dealing with a case of mucormycosis. Then there is a typical black turbinate sign which has been described in cases of mucormycosis. Here the turbinate here is non-enhancing. This is a classical black turbinate sign. Though not very specific for mucor, it is highly likely you are dealing with a case of mucormycosis. So whenever you see such things, you have to evaluate associated complications in mucormycosis. Here, this is a Trantrac sign, that is the central optic nerve is non-enhancing. For optic neuritis, here there is non-enhancing HR or necrotic tissue which is involving the septum. So these are all the classic signs of mucormycosis. Another sign which has been described for cases of mucor is called guitar pick sign. So when there is flattening of the dorsal globe, this resembles a classical guitar pick. Because of the extensive orbital cellulitis, you can get such and increase in axial proptosis, you can get guitar pick sign. So the alarming red flag signs which you should look for in cases of mucormycosis is, number one, look for the perineural spread. So there will be periantral extension of the mucormycosis from the maxillary sinus into the pterygopalatine fossa, and it can extend all the way into the cavernous sinus through the perineural spread. So the first red flag sign is looking for the perineural spread, which can reach cavernous sinus and cause catastrophic CNS complication sign. The second red flag sign, here you can see the sphenoid sinus is invasion into the cavernous sinus. Here the cavernous sinus shows hypointense areas. Here the fat of the cavernous sinus is clearly visible. In this side it is not visible. So this is direct invasion of cavernous sinus. Such signs should be, it is more probable whenever there can be associated skull base osteomyelitis. So here this is a skull base osteomyelitis with cavernous sinus invasion. Again the same case in a different section. This side it is more narrowed. Look for the prominent superior ophthalmic vein. So whenever there is congestion in the cavernous sinus, there will be prominent superior ophthalmic vein. So there is a subtle chance that whenever you are seeing prominent superior ophthalmic vein, cutoff is 3 mm. Beyond that, if you see, most probably you are dealing with the case of cavernous sinus invasion in a case of mucormycosis. So again, in the same case, you can see there is narrowing of this is an early sign of cavernous sinus invasion. You can see that sometimes there can be direct invasion of temporal lobe from the middle cranial fossa, resulting in diffusion restriction. So temporal lobe encephalitis secondary to mucormycosis can be seen. This is again a red flag sign. Here again the classical skull base osteomyelitis. You can see HR or a necrotic tissue in the clivus region. So this skull base osteomyelitis is because of mucormycosis. So here again there is associated skull base osteomyelitis, narrowing of the cavernous sinus, carotid artery is narrowed. So in this patient again there was involvement of the clivus and there was a thrombosis of basilar artery. So you should always look for such signs. And you can also see infarcts and hemorrhages in mucormycosis. Here you can see initially there was encephalitis in the frontal lobe followed by lenticulostriate infarction in this case. So infarcts are also very common in case of mucormycosis. Last but not the least, this is a case of classic mucormycosis with retroorbital cellulitis, and there was a cavernous sinus invasion in this case. Premaxillary and preseptal soft tissue swelling also is seen. So in this case, because of cavernous sinus thrombosis, there is massive hemorrhagic venous infarction resulting in midline shift, and this patient has succumbed to the mucormycosis immediately. So we should always pick up such signs as early as possible. Always pick up signs of red flags, that is enlargement of superior ophthalmic vein or perineural spread, so that you can pick up the cavernous sinus invasion signs early, and so that we can treat them aggressively to prevent the catastrophic events. Thank you very much. Hope this video was useful for you.